Hey everybody, it's David G back again with Faith and Perspective. Sorry for the dramatic pause there. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, an amazing time wherever y'all are at today. Again, real quick, want to remind you if I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I don't see it. So there we go, that whole blind thing. But you know what? Today, I want to jump right in. And the question for the day really is, do you feel unworthy, undeserving, or inadequate? And that's the question for the day. And that's kind of what I want to look at. And I really feel like sometimes we all have a tendency to feel that way. And so we're going to jump into that here in just a minute. Before we do, just in the interest of full disclosure, I want to let you guys know, remind you that this is kind of my first time doing all this kind of stuff. I'm really enjoying coming out and doing this YouTube channel, but I am just getting started. So let me know, guys, in the comments down below. Let me know what the lighting looks like this time. I tried a little something different. I can see light and shadows, so that I can tell. So yeah, I'm actually doing all this stuff on my own as far as, doing the videos. I'm not doing any editing because, yeah, I haven't figured out how to do that just yet with my vision the way it is. Like I said, they diagnosed me blind. So, yeah, so with all that stuff, like I said, let me know down in the comments down below. Let me know what this video looks like, if it looks okay, if the lighting is good, bad, ugly. Really, honestly and truly, I just want some feedback. Kind of let me know what you think. If it looks great, great. If not, hey, I'm willing and open to accept all constructive criticism. If you're just gonna be nasty about it, probably gonna be best if you don't post it. Not that I mind, because honestly, I can handle it, not that big a deal. But I wouldn't want somebody else to jump on there and kind of get on your case about saying whatever it was that you kind of felt it necessary to say. So anyway, with all that kind of out of the way and all that disclaimer stuff, I really just want to go ahead and get into this thing. So feeling unworthy, undeserving, and inadequate. Man, that's a big subject, right? That's a big topic. And I really don't want to take a whole lot of time today. I don't want to sit here. It could be like a 30-minute talk. It could be an hour-long talk that we have here. But the truth is, I've dealt with that in my own life. I dealt with depression most of my life. Most of my life, I battled depression. I was actually clinically diagnosed. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I may have, may not. But like I said, I was clinically diagnosed with major depression at one time. And so feeling unworthy, honestly, I had great parents. I had a family. I had, two brothers, which, they're older brothers. So, it is what it is, right? They were, that they were older brothers, and you guys kind of probably, I'm sure, know the story of how that goes. But I love them family. My dad, my mom, they were both awesome. My dad was an evangelist and an electrician and a pastor and all these great things. And I had love, but it's crazy that I felt that way anyway. I felt those things. I felt depressed. I felt lonely. I felt inadequate. Like I wasn't enough. And so, man, guys, I almost hate to ask you this, but, if you feel that way, if you've ever felt that way, put it in the comments. Let me know. I'd really love to reach out and maybe we could even talk, because at the end of the day, I want this to be a community, not just a channel. So, I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. So if you guys stick around, yeah, I'm going to talk about, community a little bit more and some ideas and some thoughts that I might have, or and maybe kind of take some suggestions as well. So, but like I said, it's crazy. Well, it's not just me. I wanted to kind of tell a story today. I don't know if you guys know the story of Moses, and there was actually a movie a long time ago, a cartoon animated movie called the Prince of Egypt, and it was about Moses and his life and how that kind of thing went on. And just a little of a backstory. Moses was the guy that God called and told him, you know what, I want you to go to Pharaoh, which was the ruler of Egypt at that time. And he said, I want you to tell him to set my people free. That's what God wanted out of him and out of his life. And Moses was a little bit freaked out. Moses told him straight up, he's like, who am I? Who am I to go to Pharaoh? Who am I to go and talk to this guy? And furthermore, and of course, this is all the David G version, I'm paraphrasing, but furthermore, who am I to go and be in charge of setting your people free, the Hebrew people, the Israelite people? Moses felt unworthy, undeserving, and inadequate, and again, part of that backstory is Moses was adopted. They were during the time when he was born and he was real small. The king of Egypt, the Pharaoh of Egypt, was actually killing the Israelite male sons, and so in order to protect him, his parents, Moses' parents, put him in a basket and floated him down the river. That seems a little cruel if you ask me, but they were trying to save his life is what they were trying to do. And as the story goes, what happens is one of the ladies in the palace found Moses, found him in the basket, and they adopted him. Basically, for lack of a better way to put that, they adopted him. And whether he knew exactly who he really was right away, I don't think he did. I think it wasn't until later that he found out. But it's crazy because even though he grew up being loved and he grew up in the palace and all those things, when he found out that he had been adopted, I mean, I've never been adopted. Maybe some of you guys have, but I have a couple of friends that have been adopted, and even though they really appreciated their adoptive family and their adoptive parents and everything they did for them, they still felt a little bit of they still felt like a little bit abandoned. Man, why did my parents leave me? Why weren't they there? Why did they just drop me off somewhere? How did this happen? And even if it's for the best intentions, we can still feel lonely. We can still feel abandoned. Again, full disclosure, I felt abandoned, even though my parents were pastors. My parents were married until they died, and they both passed away. But I had that one single family unit, that what they call the nuclear family. I had everything working for me in my case, but I still felt abandoned. And it's crazy, but I finally figured out why, and it was really only through God helping me figure it out. But the truth is, my dad worked. He worked a full-time job and did ministry. My mom, at the time when I was real small, worked as well. And so I got left with my two older brothers. Well, one of them's about 4 years older than me. The other one's about 8 years older than me. So they were actually super close because they were only 3 years apart. So 4 or 5 years. I'm bad with the math, but they were 3 years apart. And so they were super close because they had each other all that time. Until I came around. And I was just too small for them to hang out with, and I didn't interest them at all. And so anyway, not to get into that, but brothers, just brothers being what they are, and they were super close, and I didn't fit because I was so small. And they were crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now, they were nuts. And they would agree. They've told the stories how they would, one would chase the other with a butcher knife, or they'd throw screwdrivers at each other, kind of playing lawn darts with each other as a target. And so there was a lot of crazy stuff. And I remember being a little freaked out because I was little. I was like maybe 5 years old during this time, and man, it was freaky, but it was kind of fun too. It was exciting. It was a whole thing. But I didn't realize that kind of started a chain of events in my mind and in me my parents left me with these wolves. It was crazy. But I started to feel kind of a sense of abandonment, and that's part of where the depression came from, and the loneliness. Because even at that, when they would go off and do their thing, they made sure that I ate. They made sure that I was kind of looked after overall, generally. But when they were playing video games, I had to go entertain myself. When they were out playing football with their friends, I was just kind of off to the side watching, and so I felt like, man, why am I not good enough? And kind of like Moses felt, why am I'm not good enough? There's no way I'm good enough to do this. And kind of to go a little bit further on in with Moses, after he found out and all this different stuff, he wound up killing a guy. So Moses left Egypt because he had killed a dude. And So there he felt undeserving. He felt like, God, yeah, I don't deserve you to call me and to ask me and to tell me to go do something, especially set your people free. I mean, these are your people. These are your children. These are your kids that you want me to go and look after and have the ruler of Egypt set them free. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve for you to ask anything of me. I can't do anything for you. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. And even worse, man, I've jacked up. I've screwed up. I'm jacked up in my life. I've made issues. I've made mistakes. You know, I've got issues and I've made mistakes. And man, I can totally identify with that too. Because even though I got saved when I was young, even though I came to God and was like, help me, Jesus, I can't do this crap on my own. You know, before all that, it was pretty bad. You know, I got into a lot of trouble. And like I said, you know, that whole diagnosis thing with that, I'll probably do a video sometime later, you know, talking a little bit more about that and explaining it. But there was a lot to it, you know, there was a lot to that. But, you know, even at that, I messed up. I did things wrong. I was a thief. Let me just tell you straight out. I was a thief and I was bad. I was just angry. I don't know if anger even covers it. The word rage comes to mind. I was violent. I was aggressive. And I'm kind of a small guy, you know, believe it or not, I'm kind of a small guy. But sometimes the smaller guys are the ones that are out to prove themselves, right? So I was just this big ball of anger and anxiety and aggression and violence. And man, I really never felt like I deserved God to look on me for anything. And it's crazy because he did. He kind of put it in me to share everything that he's done for me, which includes this, because I came to a point where I had to realize, if he makes me worthy, if he says I'm worthy, if he says I'm good enough, then I've got to just believe it. I've just got to take him at his word. You know, God, when Moses went to God and was like, you know what, I'm nobody. I'm nobody to do this. You know, who am I, you know, to go and do this thing that you've asked me to do? Well, Jesus told him just straight up, you know what? I'm going to be with you. I'm going to go with you. In other words, God was saying, I believe in you. I believe in what I've put in you. I've put something special inside of you. And because I'm with you, you're going to be able to handle this. You're going to be able to do this. I know you've messed up. I know you've made mistakes. I know you feel unworthy. I know you feel inadequate. Why did he feel inadequate? Moses felt inadequate because he told God, he's like, send somebody else. He's like, send somebody else. I stutter. I stutter. I don't know how to talk right. And you can't have to send somebody else because, you know, one, I'm not good enough. Two, I've messed up too many times. I've done some jacked up mess in my life. And three, I stutter. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to be, I'm not eloquent. Yeah, I did stop and think. I think I used the word correctly. So, man, I'm telling you, on every level, that's honestly why we did this video today. That's why I did this video today, because it's not just Moses, it's me. I'm sharing today with you, and I'm using Moses as another example. But honestly, if you believe that the Bible is just a bunch of stories, I'm not mad at you. I believe in the Bible. I believe it's all true. I believe those things happen. But if you don't believe it, believe me. I'm a true story. I'm not just a character in a book. I'm here, I'm living, I'm breathing. And I'm telling you, I made this video today because I have felt all three of these things throughout my life. And I'm so glad and so excited that I finally came to a point where I'm just going to take God at his word. If Jesus says I'm good enough, if God chose to give me life and chose to help me live and all these things and forgave me for my jacked up mess, then I'm just going to believe what he said. He's a man of his word. And if he says it, I'm going to believe it. And so that's really the big thing today. You know what? We've all dealt with those things. And maybe you haven't dealt with any of this. Hey, man, praise God. That's great. You know, let me know that in the comments. I mean, shoot, that's beautiful. If you've never felt like that, that's freaking awesome. I need to know how you got through life without feeling that way at all. Because a lot of people I've talked to, if they didn't deal with depression, they at least feel some of this in high school. You know, I mean, high school can be a terrifying place. But I'm just saying, you know, all this, you know, I really want to close this video off just by saying, you know what? God believes in you. And he put something inside you to do. I have no idea how to do this YouTube video. Some of you guys thought in the beginning when I was talking about that, it had nothing to do with the video. The truth is, I've been wanting to do these YouTube videos for at least a year, maybe longer. I've really felt inside of me that it's something that God wants me to do, is share with people. It's something that other people have asked me to do, is share with as many people as I can. And I do. Everywhere I go, everybody I come in contact with, but having this broader audience, having, the YouTube to the YouTube and the internet and all that, to speak to different people and really just to, man, just to bring a little bit of hope and maybe some encouragement, and inspiration. If you're inspired by it, praise God. That's great. That's beautiful. But really, honestly and truly, I have felt, man, I don't deserve to do this. That's a platform. That's a big thing, and I don't know what I'm doing, God. I don't deserve to do this. I've screwed up. I screwed up 2 months ago. I screwed up last week. I screw it up pretty often. I'll be honest with you. It's progress over perfection for me, because I'm not going to be perfect anytime soon while I'm here, but I'm always working to do better, and I talked about that a little bit in another video. But man, if we could just get it and understand, if you guys can just see that, let's do it. Let's step out. I watched another video. A guy says, man, you just got to press record. When I was trying to do this and wanting to do these videos, and get a channel and all that stuff, I started watching all these different videos, and there's a guy that I watched, and he's like, man, you just got to press record. And everybody's like, man, you just got to do it. You don't have to have a fancy camera, and just all these different things. And like I said, I felt inadequate. On top of everything else, I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I'm ill-equipped. I can't even see to do the editing. I can't, all this stuff. I can't see the camera angles. All this kind of stuff. And man, I just didn't feel like I had it within me to do it. But at the end of the day, I had to take God at his word and let that shift my mindset, and to be able to say, you know what? I'm gonna have a different outlook. I'm gonna see it from your eyes. And if you say I can do it, and you're going to be with me, and you're going to guide me through it all, then I'll do it. I'll do what you call me to do, and I'll do what you ask me to do. And so that's why we're here. That's what I'm doing. And hopefully this video didn't go too long. I really appreciate you guys hanging out for everything. And I hope you get a little bit of encouragement by that. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'm going to try to put out at least every couple of weeks. But every once in a while, I might just throw a random video out. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But yeah, so if you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, well, you'll find out whenever I put a video out. So, but anyway, man, just let's be encouraged today. That's my biggest thing. Like I said, is what? You are worthy, because if God chose to give you life, then he decided that you deserve it. He chose you. He chose to put you on the earth. You know what? Maybe you figured, oh, well, my parents didn't even plan. I wasn't even planned. Well, you were planned by somebody. God planned you. He knew you were going to be here, and he knew you were going to have life. And he said you were worthy enough to have that life. And even though you've messed up, God said, I'm still going to be with you, and so, let's move forward. Let's go on. Let's move on, because there's another really cool verse in the Bible that says that we're more than conquerors. God has made us more than conquerors, and with him, we can conquer all things. And so, just like usual, I'll post, any of these scriptures that I talk about, I'll post them in the description down below later. So you guys can kind of check those out. So like I said, that's my heart for today. What I wanted to share with you guys. You know what? You are worthy, and you are deserving, because you're a child of God. You're deserving because God created you. You're deserving because he put you here for a purpose. And that purpose, well, we'll make another video about purpose. But you know what? And you're not inadequate. You are enough. Matter of fact, you're more than enough, because you are well equipped. Yeah, there we go. Well equipped, because God is within you and inside of you. If he's not inside you, and you don't have Jesus, and you want to, if you need help with that, put it in the comments below, and you and I will figure out a way to kind of email or tag team, or do something. I will definitely get with you, because I want to talk with you. I want to pray with you. I want to believe with you, so you can move forward. Finally, last thing, I want this to be a community. I said if you hung out, I was going to share something, an idea that I had. I want to develop community. And I don't want to just shoot videos and just be out here, just some guy talking. Honestly, I want to have community. I want this to be a faith and perspective community, some people that we come together and we can believe together, we can hope together, we can encourage each other. And so I need to figure out how to do that. Quite honestly, I need to figure that out. And so that's something I'm going to be working on. And so if you guys have any, suggestions about that, hey, put that in the comments down below, and let me know. Reach out and tell me if you guys have any suggestions or comments about that. But I really want to create a community. I really want it to be more than just some guy talking on a video. I really wanted to find a way for us to, man, just like I said, just be here for each other and lift each other up, because man, life is a mess right now. The world is crazy right now. And I think the more people we can have on our side and the more people we have that have got our back, man, the better. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks again for hanging out so long. I feel like this video was a little bit longer than I expected it to be. But you know what? Hey, at the end of the day, here we are and here it is. And signing off now. As always, just have a beautiful day.